Hi guys, welcome to c3music.com. Today we're going to be talking about the guitar parts off our new album, Only Love. And we're going to start with one of my personal favorites, Your Word. It's the third track on the album. It's in the key of F and it's a great song. The intro shapes are very exciting. We're not going to play them in the conventional manner. It's a 6 chord. Now, if you know anything about music, the 6 chord in the key of F is D minor. Most people like to hit it like that, but I'm a bit reluctant. I'm going to put the 5th on the bottom and we're going to treat all our triads the same. Here's the 6 chord, D minor, spelled A, D, and F. On the 5th fret, so the bottom 2 strings, and then the 3rd fret on the 3rd string. 4th string, I should say. It's going to go down to the C, again in that same inversion. 5th on the bottom, here's our C. And it's going to go all the way up to F, likewise. Going up to the 2 chord, which is G minor, back to the 1, and down to the 5. The tempo for this song is crotchet equals 109 BPM, 109 beats per minute. And it's a straight delay. There's our tempo. But I'm going to do a bit of an unusual rhythm with my right hand. I'm just turning the delay off for this. It's there's the 5 chord. So 6. There's the 1 up to the 1 chord. 2, 1, 5. And that's the groove for the verses. When you add a little bit of delay, it sounds like this. Changes. Now, while it's going on, there's sort of a dry electric part there with a little bit of distortion on it. What happens is you're hitting on the A string or the 5th string here, D to C on the 5th and 3rd frets, going up to F on the 8th fret and sliding back to the D note there. I like to use my 3rd finger to my 1st, and then I use my index finger up on the 8th and I slide back to the D because I get a bit more of a positive connection with the string. You can use your 3rd, but it can tend to sound a little sloppy. So if you go, you kind of get a little bit more of accuracy, is what I would say. So that happens in the gaps. So if we're back in the verse, you go, and it happens straight after you finish that 1 chord. So let me put it back onto that patch, and I'll just mimic the verse changes so you can get an idea. So it's, and that's where it falls. So I'll try that again. And the gaps, and you hear the 2. And then it goes again, cycle, same spot. And that's sort of a lick that the second guitarist can play. If there's only one electric guitar player in the band, you're best to play the featured rhythm part on the album that sticks out with the synths. When it gets to the pre-chorus, the lyric markings there are "Run to the River." If you're familiar with the song, that's what the singers are singing, and that's the moment where the acoustic guitar players shine. And you just have to follow the chart for that. If you want to know what the chords are, it's C, the 5th chord of the key of F. Down to B flat, which is the 4, and then it goes up to the 6, which is D minor. Then it kicks into the chorus, and the chorus is the fun part of the song because it's where you get to really open everything up on the electric. And the changes coming into the chorus and the downbeat are the 4 chord, the 1 chord, and the 5 chord. Now, you could play it as straight 5s. There's the 4 chord, there's the 1 chord, there's the 5 chord. I don't like to do that. I like to make the most of what's available on the guitar, so play like a B flat when they add the 9th or the 2. In guitar books would call that a B flat 2, no 3rd. There's no D in the chord. Leave that for the singers and the keys players to hit. The F, I'm not going to do that because it's just too muddy. So I'm going to do middle register 5 chord here in root position. There's F, C, and the octave F. But I'm going to put the C on the bottom and let the bass player carry that because I think that sounds a lot better. Richer, warmer, it's got more authority. There's the 4, there's the 1. Just like the 4, I'm going to hit a 2 chord on the 5. I'm going to play downstrokes, so it sound like this: 3, 4. Right at the end of that bar, that second bar, second time through when it hits the 5 chord, there is a line the guitar players hit. Again, if there's only one electric, you can start with the rhythm, and then halfway through when it does the back end of the chorus, it actually hits the 2. And the lyric markings there are light in the dark, fire in my bones. So it hits like 2 chord, 6 chord, 1 chord, 5 chord. Those chords are G minor, D minor, F, C. But the line I'm playing there is caught just before the downbeat of the 2. There's the 2 chord. There's the 6 chord. There's the 1 chord. And there's the 5 chord. So those notes are all played on the 4th string, starting on the 12th fret with your 3rd finger. That's a D. And we're going to go real staccato-like, very short. D, C, D, 12, 10, 12. Slide into that 8th fret, which is really nice. It's the minor 3rd against that 2 chord. And then follow that down a semitone to an A on the 7th fret, which against the D is the 5th. And then there's the root note, F, and then take it up 2 frets to the 5th, and that's the G against the C. So it's, different note choice against the chord, right? And that will be played like this in time. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. Now when we get to that on the second time coming back to the verse, kind of give it a little bit of a crazy bend. So you start to drive 8s with your right hand, and then bend, and then it disappears back into the verse. And how I'm doing that, well, fortunately I'm able to change patches down here at my feet, so I can go from sort of a tube screamer sound with delays to clean compression where I can do a pickup change. It's kind of, some people don't think multitasking is possible, but we're breaking all the rules today. So we're here, so bending, switch, and you can try and make it seamless as possible. If you haven't got a switching system, it's just a matter of turning off your drive at that point. But I'm set up in such a way that I can't do that. I'm changing patches. So bending again, change the pickup, and back into the verse. The only other section you're really going to need to know is the bridge. And that bridge, I change it over to an even more drivier patch. I go to the back pickup, and we're just holding the D note here, and it breaks down on that 6th chord, but it's not like the chords there, it's just a 1 note. It's very important to know what that rhythm is. I'm just going to clean it up with no effects. Now, slowing that right down, let's just palm mute the strings. The way to practice this is you've got to play the strings like it's a snare drum. Yeah. So we're going down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Right? Slowing down again. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All right? It's all 16ths, but you're missing a few. When you do it on a single note, you've got to make sure you dampen all the other strings with the loose flesh here on your first. It's very important. So that you can be as violent with your right hand as you want, but the other string's not going to resonate. In the studio, you'd tie a cloth around the neck to actually allow yourself to be as free as you want, but live you actually have to dampen those strings. But of course the sound is, etc., etc. Now when the chords come in, the keys players and acoustics are hitting 4, 5, 6, which is B flat, C, D minor. Right at the very end of that bridge breakdown section, we're going to hit this polyrhythm 9 times on that D note. It sounds like this. And then bang, you're into the chorus. It's really cool. There's actually a breakdown right before that last chorus. Very end of the song, on the record, it goes back to your verse groove. But it's up to you whether you decide to do that live. And that's pretty much the electric guitar parts for your word. Enjoy.